What's up, YouTube? Back in the shop again, working on the 83 K10, kinda, sorta. It's sitting out there, but I'm working on my axles. I picked up a set of 3/4 ton axles. Actually, a whole parts truck had a 4-speed in it, and I happened to have a set of 3/4 ton axles, 14 bolt rear end, and a Dana 44 front. It was a 77 K20, obviously 3/4 ton. It's got 456 gears in it, which is awesome, except for the front end. We'll get to it in a minute, but the rear, she's got a lot of rust in her. There's some rust on the ring and pinion a little bit. Not bad. I'm going to go through and give this a good washing, clean it all out, put new fluid in it. I'm going to go ahead and pull the springs off. I was going to just run the stock 3/4 ton springs, put new bushings in it, and not lift the truck. But to me, I'm going to have to lift it. It's just the way it's got to be, I think. And plus, these springs are not in the world's greatest shape. They need brought back together. It's going to need shocks. It's going to need bushings. I need a U-bolt on the front because my buddy was helping me pull them. I accidentally cut one of them with a torch. He was confused. We'll save that for later. But, yeah, I need shocks, bushings, U-bolts. And I figured, why not? And the springs are pretty much probably got some good age to them. They're probably still good springs. There's probably nothing really wrong with them I won't tell until I pull them apart. But yeah, I'm gonna do rear disc brakes on the 14 bolt. Like I said, she's kind of rusty inside. She's been, as you can see there on the cover, she's been setting for a while. There's not really any pitting in the gears where it's gonna bug me. There's some stuff in here. But yeah, and it just needs cleaned really good. Once it's cleaned, I'm gonna put new oil in it and clean up the housing, paint it. I pulled the Dana 44 apart. We'll get to that in a minute. And I'm currently painting the yoke and the brake disc backing plates right now. I'm using the high performance Rust-Oleum enamel, heavy duty stuff. I used that on my 74 when I was doing it, and that front end looked good up to the day I got rid of it, and it looked good to the next owner, and then he got rid of it, and I don't know where it went, so I can't give you an update. But this truck I plan to keep a little bit longer, so we'll see how it handles the driving. 456 gears. We're going to be a little high for what I want to do, but it'll work for right now. For right now, it's going to be a little high, but later on when I put my 35s on it, it'll be much better gear for what I'm doing. I didn't want to lift it because I still wanted to be able to use it as a truck, you know, be able to haul a gooseneck, but I don't have a gooseneck ball, and I don't really have anything that's gooseneck that I need to haul, so I kind of was like, yeah, what the hell. I love the old lifted square bodies. I've had 3 of them. I might as well go ahead and lift this one because I would down the road eventually probably lift it anyways. Right now, I've got my old BF Goodrich all-terrains on here on a set of stock 16 steel wheels. 2 of them are mounted right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these tires off of these wheels and then mount these 2 other ones. These really aren't, yeah, these are junk. Pretty much, this is an all right tire, but this one's pretty much bald. I'm gonna run these for right now to make it a roller while I'm doing brakes and everything. Because I'm doing, considering doing, which it'll probably happen, I have enough stuff around here to make it happen. A Hydro Boost. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this back down so it can drain, maybe. That drum over there is kind of sticky. Go ahead and bring her, there we go. Let that drain out a little more. I gotta work on the vent tube, it's full of crap. I'll probably end up pulling, I don't really want to pull the pinion nut off because I don't want to have to put a new crush sleeve in it or anything. I don't really want to do anything to this rear end. I don't really want to mess with it. If this one grenades later on, I'll rebuild my other 14 bolt I have. My thought was when I bought these, I was hoping I could just put the disc brakes on it, jam them under my truck and go. Which under further inspection with the front end, it wasn't gonna happen that way. I ended up pulling the front apart. I spun the yoke and it felt bad. It didn't feel like the bearings felt horrible. Which if you can look at this bearing, I broke the other side pulling them off. But yeah, I don't want to get my shims mixed up because I'm going to put the new bearings with them shims and try to see because normally the housing's the only thing that's different. The bearings and stuff are pretty similar, and they're machined pretty precise bearings, so that shouldn't be a problem. I want to go ahead and use the stock shimming, and hopefully I can get a good enough pattern on the new ring and pinion, and hopefully we can get a good pattern with that. It doesn't have to be perfect, because this is gonna not be in four-wheel drive a whole lot, so yeah. But yeah, here's the carrier. It's pretty good, except for it's got a chunk out of here. I think I'll just go ahead and sand that down a bit, but I don't think that's really anything gonna cause any problems. There's some rust on the inside here. You can't really see that. I'll get my light out here. Yeah, you see that rust? I'm gonna go ahead and sand that down. That's all right. The pinion gears, or not pinion gears, the carrier gears, the spider gears are a little rusty. They could be definitely usable, but I'm gonna put a locker in this carrier, is my plan anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up really good and stuff, and put a locker, one of the, what is it, US standard gear locker in here. Clean that rust off, put a locker in this. A lot of people say a locker's not good in snow and ice, but this truck is not gonna be driven in the winter. That's my plan. I don't really plan on to drive it in the winter. The only time I really use four-wheel drive is when I'm in mud, or I'm pulling something in low range and stuff, and I want the extra traction up front, so shouldn't have a problem there. And I'll go ahead and have the hubs unlocked. This was a big hub, Dana 44. It's an early 77. It had Spicer lockouts on it, which the caps are cracked. And they're, as you can see, a little rusty. They definitely need cleaned up if I'm going to reuse them, but I'll probably get a set of M&M hubs for right now and keep the rest of the Spicer hubs. The housing is pretty dirty, but I'm going to replace the inner seals in there. I'm going to clean the tubes out. I'm going to clean the inner housing. I already got all the races knocked out of it. But here's the reason why I went ahead and replaced it, other than all the rust and stuff. Here's the reason why. Tooth, and tooth, and tooth, and another one, and another one. Yeah, there's teeth missing all over the place on that ring gear. So I was like, yeah, we'll go ahead and replace that. Being we're here. I got my old pinion here. I got the shims to where they go. So I'm gonna try to set it with the factory shims that are in it and see how that pattern is, and then I'll go tear it apart multiple times. You guys know this didn't have a crush sleeve on it, so I'm confused if the Dana 44 doesn't have a crush sleeve. That's just kind of confusing in my opinion, but hey, I don't know. I'm not an expert. The Dana 44 is by far. My Dana 44 that I rebuilt for my 74, I tore it apart, and the interior, the internals look great. It looked like it was just in a running truck that was only a couple months old. The pattern on the gear was great. The gears looked really nice. And I just went ahead and put ball joints and stuff and steering components on it and rolled. This is obviously something I had to take care of. So I'm going to go ahead and get me a 456 gear. If you guys aren't 100% sure that it's a 456 gear. Where is it? Is that the last of them? Right there. The jacks to the front are 455s. But yeah. 50 divided by 11 is like 455.5 or something like that. So yeah, it's 456s, and the ring on that one says 456 as well. I counted them. I didn't count the teeth on the pinion, but it's 40, is it 42 or 43 teeth on the ring gear for 456 gears, for a standard 456 gear. So I'm assuming it definitely should be 456 gears, because the 410s and the 373s counts are way different than that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and order a 456 front gear and install kit, and gonna get outer seals, or not outer, well obviously I'm gonna get outer axle seals. This one didn't even have one. I guess none of them had one. Don't they? Yeah, they're supposed to have. Oh, they're right here. These dust seals. I'm going to get new ones of them. I'm going to do the inner seals of course, I've already got them out there right there. I got to measure them, make sure I order the right ones. Probably here in a bit, I'm going to go ahead and pull these leaf springs off, pop the U-bolts off. There's the, where is that U-bolt he cut? Right here. He cut the U-bolt right there. Unfortunately, at least he didn't scar up the axle or anything. Went ahead and cut this off. Hopefully buzz these off. I'm definitely going to soak them with PB Blaster and scrape them off with a wire brush. The spindles and the spindle, I guess you'd say the spindle, yeah, the spindles and the hubs look great. They just need cleaned up, and the bearings, I'm going to either replace the bearings, or if they look good, no pitting or anything, and look really clean, after I clean them, I'll just repack them and reuse them. I mean, I don't know how many miles are on them, but if they look good, might as well use them. Get new calipers. Going to do two new calipers and rotors up front. I'll probably clean the hubs up as well while I'm here. Paint them black too. Gonna probably here soon knock all the studs out of them and get them split. So, but I got the carrier. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit. And the spots that are really rusty, you just get it really nice and clean, ready to go back in. Of course, I'm gonna clean the housing. I'm gonna pull the outer knuckles off, put new ball joints, new tie rods. Well, there's two tie rods, one long one and one other end. And of course, it'll come in the lift kit, so this will be the raised steering knuckle arm. I'm gonna go ahead and hold this tube off there. I'm gonna clean this differential up too. Probably actually take it out to the wash pad and blow everything out really good. Come back with compressed air and then blow it all out. Then squirt some 90 weight in there just to keep it from rusting. And yeah, I'll end up doing that. Then I'll tape it all off, clean it with a grinding wheel, the wire wheel on the grinder, hit it with some black paint, and yeah, I'm gonna sandblast the knuckles. I sandblast both them in the blasting cabinet over here, and I'm gonna sandblast these knuckles. I'll sandblast these and paint them black. And of course, the springs will be black, and the U-bolts will all be nice and painted too. I'll get a new new steering stabilizer shock, which this is actually in good shape. This one does stuff. It does pretty good. Yeah, it works. I have to work pretty hard. I'm hoping I don't have to. I'm hoping I can get the bottom ball joints nuts off easily. I'm gonna go ahead and clean them up with a wire brush, then hit them with PB Blaster and let them set. I'm gonna have to get the cotter pin. This one doesn't look promising, but we'll see. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't know, must have a turd in my pocket. I'm gonna clean up my sway bar. I'll get new sway bar bushings, new end bushings, new clamp bushings. Yeah, and I'm gonna be reusing the stock sway bar. I'm not gonna do a lot of off-roading, not any really climbing with it, so that's gonna be not a problem, or I'm not gonna really need the extra articulation of not having the front sway bar. I still want my truck to handle pretty good. The reason I went with 456 gears is because 35-inch tall tires with the 5.3, which is gonna probably, I'm really debating on it. I got the LQ9 sitting underneath that tarp right there. I'm really considering that going in the 83 and not doing anything to it, just putting an oil pump in it and gasketing it and cleaning it up. I'm really considering putting it in the truck. I'd cam it, but it's reliable. It's a really reliable platform stock, and the stock tune on these GM motors is really, really good, and I can tweak it just a little bit for my headers and my intake, and it will run perfect. And these engines seem to be decent on fuel. I'm getting about 14 with the truck right now, with the 5.3 in it and the 308 gears. I'd get better if I didn't live in such a hilly area and it kept downshifting up and down hills. That's my problem with the 308s and the little tires. 456s, definitely the 33s I shouldn't have a problem with downshifting anymore. It should definitely have enough oomph to pull itself up the hill, enough gear anyways. But yeah, the 33s are just temporary, just to keep it rolling once these axles go up underneath it. I'm not doing a block rear suspension lift. It's going to be all leaf spring lift. I'm going to buy a Rough Country lift kit. What is it? Lug nut something? Lug nut 4x4, I think, is what it's called. Who makes the disc brake conversion I'm going to be using. I'm going to go ahead. All nickel copper brake line. But yeah, all nickel copper brake line. all throughout the truck too. I'll doing new lines on the truck across the axle. And then I'm gonna get stainless steel braided lines. I'm getting the kit with stainless steel braided lines. God, it's Friday, which you guys won't see this till Wednesday, but it's Friday. I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. We have stainless steel braided brake lines going to the rear disc brake conversion, stainless steel braided line to the frame line, and then stainless steel braided lines on the fronts to the frame lines as well. So yeah, it'll be all, I wanted to be able to stop. I want to do Hydro Boost. Here's Hydro Boost off of an 85 Suburban with a 6.5 liter, not 6.5, 6.2 liter diesel. Obviously the pump will not work, but I've got hopefully a pump. I'll just buy one for like an 03 Escalade, because my Escalade's got Hydro Boost on it and it's not electronically controlled Hydro Boost pump. I did happen to get one, but unfortunately, well, screw all that, I'll worry about it later. I got a couple of coolers. I'm going to put one of these on there for a power steering cooler. I'll clean it, flush them out, and use one of them for a power steering cooler. There's my MP208 project. Currently that's gonna all blasted off and cleaned up. I'm rebuilding that, sealing it. The internals and bearings and stuff looked awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and just gasket it and seal it and just clean it up and just put it back together. And I'll put that in the truck as well. So I'll fix my leaky transfer case because I thrown the MP205, not MP205, MP208 that's in it up underneath it. Didn't do nothing to it, and it leaks like crazy. At about the front seal, at the rear seal, yeah, it leaks pretty bad. So we'll end up doing that. I'll rebuild this. This is not going to make its way up in the truck quite yet. I'm just going to clean it and just lubricate it with some ATF, like a big gallon jug there of it, which will be plenty to just relube everything. I'll relube all the bearings and everything. Just put it together and let it set, and then possibly when I do the axle swap, that won't be a hard thing to swap out. I'll do speedometer gear for 35s and 456s because I won't be running the 33s for very long. It depends on what it looks like. If they don't look too bad, I'd be apt to get 2 more of these and replace these 2 and run these, because these are still got a little bit of meat left on them. They'll be able to run for a little bit. But yeah, like I said, these are just on it because I needed tires to roll, so that'll be perfectly fine. And this one kind of worries me. They both got nails in them, but they don't go all the way through, so I don't know. I mean, they leaked anyways, and it really bugged me too much. I'll just keep an air on them. But yeah, as you guys can see, we got my old Predator here. A coworker bought it. He's going through it. He bought it from the guy that pretty much rode the piss out of it and pretty much undid everything I did to it. And then he bought it, put the blue plastic on it. It's a new bumper, new A-arms, all kinds of stuff. He's going completely through it, so it'll be pretty cool when it's done. I told him I've been helping him work on it. I told him he's definitely gonna have to let me ride it when he gets it done. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go clean this out, finish cleaning this up, hopefully get the knuckles off without too much of a problem, I hope. And I'm probably gonna drop the steering arm first here real soon. I'm gonna end up probably pulling the shocks off and the leaf springs. Yeah, I'm thinking about keeping the leaf springs and putting bushings in it, and maybe putting them under my K5 or turning my K5 back down to stock ride height. I don't know yet, but yeah, I'll have them, so I'll just keep them around for a while. But yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.